Hello everyone. This is Dr. Fauci. I can't breathe. I might have the coronavirus. Today, we will be talking about the coronavirus. That one not too good. You don't want it. Just trust me. It make it hard to breathe like I am now. I know you want to get into you have lots of questions for me. I'm very smart. I can answer them. Trust me. But we'll get into the presentation after I answer some of your questions. Because I'm very smart and you ask me questions. And okay, what is the first question? Who has a question? Yes, you, the dumb guy right there who is dumb and needs to ask questions for me, and I can answer them because I'm very smart. Yes, I have the question. Yes, this is the press. This is the press room. I am in the press room with the microphone. Is my microphone working? Hello? Can you hear me? I think I might have some gunk in my microphone. 1 second. There we go. Much better. You hear me much better now. I'm in the press room. I'm not in my garage. It's not the garage. Mom, no, not right now, Mom. I do not need the groceries. Go back. Go back down the driveway. Sometimes the walls in the press room must be climate change. The walls are rising up. It's a tornado. Extreme weather events. The press, I'm very honest, that's what it was. Yes, I have the quote. Hold on, please get my notes, I forgot them. Okay, we're back, I got my notes now, we're good, I can ask you the question, I'm the one over here who's asking the questions. I'm so smart, I think of questions to ask you because I'm very smart. I'm the press, I'm very smart. Yes, so my question to you right now is, I know a lot of people who have concerns about the second dose of the vaccine, and that recently you took that. I don't know the full story, I just read the headlines, but there's this story, it said you were knocked out for 2 days after you took the coronavirus second dose. What was that about? Is it safe? Is it safe? The American people want to know. I'm a very good journalist. I stand for the American people, and we demand answers. Thank you. Yes, I'm very smart. Oh, what was that? Why does the news press have the same voice as Dr. Fauci? I don't know. How about you make it? You do it. The coronavirus, is it good? No, it's not good. You see what I'm saying, people? These are the questions I get. What is your question, you say? I can't hear you. I'm very old and smart. I can only hear the smart people. I must get a translator. Hello? Sarah, please, what is he saying, please? But yes, the second dose of the coronavirus vaccine, it is very safe. No need for concern. You do not need to worry. I'm very smart, Dr. Guy, and you can take my word for it. Look, I forgot that prop, but I'll just explain it to you, okay? Look at that. The president, he even gave me the special sticker. I don't have it because I forgot to bring it. But it's a #1 figurehead. And if there's one thing that we all know, of course, if there's one thing we all know is that politicians are very trustworthy and honest people. So you can put your faith in me. What does it say to say? Rest assured. Okay, next question. I'm another press person. I don't have a question for you. You know who has a question for you? The tax taxpayers. The taxpayers have a question for you, Dr. Fauci. Would you care to explain to us why did you have a salary in 2019 of $417,608, and you were the highest paid federal employee in the entire government, even more than the president? Could you please explain to us why you feel like you deserve that salary, Dr. Fauci? All you do is repeat what the WHO says. Please, Dr. Fauci, why do we need to give you so much money?
Yes, very good question. Although yes. Very good question, but although I feel this would be a better question for our friend, the Hypnotoad. Sarah, please patch him through. He's very good, he's almost as smart as me. Sarah, please. We're getting him through? Okay, he's coming on now. Everybody, let's hear it for
the Hypnotoad. All glory to the Hypnotoad.
all hail, all glory to Hypnotoad.
Dr. Fauci presentation time. Let's do some science. So, every organism has unique molecules on the surface of its cells that the immune system uses to discern foreign cells from self cells. This is useful because foreign cells containing foreign substances called antigens can trigger immune system responses. Let's get into some terminology here. So, pathogens are agents that cause disease. And pathogens can be species specific, or they can be able to cross species barriers like we see in a coronavirus, how it can transfer between certain species. And now a disease is any condition that disturbs the normal functioning of the body, and an illness is the deterioration of a normal state of health of an organism. So we see with coronavirus, that is the disease that causes the illness COVID-19. Now, some of the transmission methods that we have are obviously direct contact. That one is pretty self-explanatory. We have contamination. That is the growing of pathogens on or in food. There's airborne transmission, where pathogens are transmitted by coughing or sneezing, and we have vectors, which is the transfer of pathogens by intermediary organisms that transfer pathogens without developing symptoms themselves. Now, with that, let's go a bit more in depth into the response and functioning of the immune system. The first step in the immune system response is a nonspecific immune cells called macrophages eat pathogens and break them down. So by nonspecific immune cells there, we mean that they do not target a particular pathogen. And by macrophages, that the breakdown of that name is goes into big eaters. So we can see they just eat pathogens and break them down. So to help with our understanding of macrophages, we're going to watch a short video here.
You fire musket, but I'll run you through. So when you're waiting for the next attack, you better stand, there's no turning back. The builder sounds, the time begins. But on this battlefield, no one wins.
Okay, enough fun for now. Let's get back into step 2 of the immune system response. So dendritic cells in macrophages process and display fragments of the pathogen, called antigens, to lymphocytes. Now, lymphocytes are a type of white blood cell. White blood cells all cooperate to fight off pathogens, and there are 2 types of lymphocytes. And those 2 types of lymphocytes are helper T cells and helper B cells. When helper T cells are presented with the antigen fragments, they activate and release cytokines. So cytokines are short-lived proteins that act as messengers between cells. So these cytokines stimulate a specific B cell and cause it to produce antibodies to the antigen to divide and form clones. Antibodies are Y-shaped proteins whose job it is to recognize and remove foreign materials from the body. So we have helper T cells being presented with the antigen fragments, and then helper T cells stimulating the helper B cells, and the helper B cells are producing antibodies to the specific antigen that we want to counteract. So these clones produced come in 2 types. The majority of them will become plasma cells, which produce lots of those specific antibodies that we want to counteract the antigen. And a small portion of them will become memory cells that will be stored in case the pathogen is encountered again. This creates a immunity. So now when the pathogen is encountered again, the immune system will be able to quickly identify it and send out the specific antibodies that it has a storage and knowledge of. And this leads well into vaccines and how vaccines work. So vaccines contain antigens that stimulate the immune system, but are not potent enough to cause disease. So the goal of a vaccine is to produce memory cells that prepare the immune system to be able to quickly respond to the pathogen vaccinated for. And since memory cells do not last forever, sometimes subsequent vaccinations are required, and multiple doses also just help raise overall effectiveness of the vaccine. And now we will cover a few side topics here. Antigens on the surface of red blood cells stimulate antibody production in a person with a different blood type. So this is why blood transfusions can have incompatibilities. In people's specific blood, their antigens are foreign to the specific blood types of other people. So yeah, that's interesting. And also we have something on allergens here. So an allergen is a substance that triggers an immune response without being otherwise harmful. So things like pollen, they aren't harmful to the body, but they can trigger an immune response. So white blood cells release histamines in response to allergens. So what are histamines? Histamines are things that cause inflammation. Now, why do they do this? They do this to dilate blood vessels, which allows more white blood cells to enter the blood vessel and fight off the antigen or pathogen. And lastly, we have monoclonal antibodies. So monoclonal antibodies are antibodies made in a lab via this specific process that I will detail here. So an animal is injected with an antigen and its immune system will produce plasma cells to counteract the antigen. Then the plasma cells that are produced are extracted and fused with tumor cells that reproduce indefinitely. The new cell can produce lots of monoclonal antibodies. So that is monoclonal antibody production. And these monoclonal antibodies are used in vaccines and things like that. Okay, that's everything I wanted to talk about and have to talk about. Dr. Fauci signing off. That's so dumb. Why did I say that?